It's an unworthy cause, worthy of a great group of players you're going to be seeing anywhere from commentators to TOs to staff you're all used to seeing throughout the competitive Splatoon universe.
Absolutely. We do have, an answer to, most dying question. Who is the Santa on 3 Elves 1 Santa? And we do, we have an answer. Turns out it is Larry.
Larry, because he's old.
Larry's the oldest.
That's the exact words from one of the players, by the way. It's Larry because he's old. And if you look at Larry on Sendo.Inc., their profile picture is someone who appears to be old. So he is right. Or sorry, they're right. He is old.
Yeah, is that Larry from Pokemon? It looks like an even older Larry. No, there's not this. I don't know. It does look like a Pokemon art style.
It does look like someone that'd be named Larry, though.
That's so true. That's big Larry energy.
Fair enough. Yeah, no, that's. I didn't think about it like that, but that is big Larry energy. So I will go ahead and call you. I was gonna say call you Larry, but you're also Larry on the actual game. So fair enough. But you know what? We have at least game 1 heading your all's way soon. It's Splat Zones on Amami Ruins. We are now at best of 5, heading into winners bracket semifinals. Both of these teams a lot to play for. 3 Elves 1 Santa trying to keep their perfect set record, and Polaris Ruins going to be making a name for themselves here on game 1.
Heading in. God. Oldie Larry on that brush. We do have an E-leader over in Ellie's hands. So that's all interesting to see.
And then I'm also seeing that's the Octobrush from Larry. I'm also seeing 2 E-leaders now. I'm glad we're seeing the Charger that has been scaring competitive Splatoon teams for the longest time. What is a pencil? I don't know. We're not seeing it here, and that's all that matters. We have an E-leader. Oh, wow. Quick pick there already from Pico. A great pick from the leader, and great start here from 3 Elves 1 Santa.
Yeah, that is already, the brush is going to be going down here. Points are ticking down, already down to around 70 here. I would love to see if the E-leader can get set up. It's not going to happen like this now, but an E-leader on the opponent's dome is so scary.
And it is really scary there. I mean, just seeing what that E-leader can do and just seeing how much they're able to control. If you know what the pencil does on a map like this, then you know the E-leader is going to be just a little more dangerous at range. And really, once they're at that dome, all of your spawn is at range. So it's going to be interesting to see how you get back from that. But here's going to be another E-leader trying to make their way out of this. This is a dangerous spot there, especially with the Kraken looking your way. And the Octobrush is going to be forced to jump back. That is Larry. The Santa to be watching out for, but Cornball has this cooler ready. Lots for the team to look out for as they have some more at their disposal. But here comes the Tri-Slosher from the top rope. And now, 3 Elves 1 Santa going to be forced to push back Polaris Ruins again.
Oh my gosh. Just the control we've been seeing is undeniable. This has been 3 Elves 1 Santa's game. They are already pushing this knockout right now. The slider is going to come in able to neutralize for a moment, but this is a double zones map. It was not able to get both, and 3 Elves 1 Santa is going to hold on to control. They take that in a 100-0 push.
Well, hope you sat down at the beginning of the match, and I hope you aren't just coming back because Game 1 ended as soon as I started talking, basically as soon as I started talking about who is picking out what, and that is a quick start and a good start for 3 Elves 1 Santa. Again, a team that comes in as the team to beat. 6-0, you want to keep that perfect record going, and what better way to show that how you got that perfect record than by going out there 100-0ing and just calling it a day.
Yeah, that was a dominant game. Polaris Ruins will have to make sure their counter pick really plays to their strengths. Having an E-leader on both teams, though, is interesting. So it feels like, sometimes there are certain stages that play really, really well into a team that has an E-leader. But if both teams are on E-leader, then it's like, oh, well, okay, well, what else do we have in our kit that we could have this pan out well for us and not benefit them as well?
Right. And the interesting part, I wonder how Polaris Ruins is going to be playing out this counter pick, because not only do you have that E leader to look to, you have Larry to look forward to as well, but how much they were able to pressure with their Octobrush alone, the Santa, excuse me, of the 3 elves 1 Santa team. By the way, that counter pick does come in. It is tower control on ship-shaped cargo code. That's where Polaris Ruins wants to look towards for their second map, in a map in which they're going to be wanting to make a comeback.
Yeah, I always feel like e-leaders either have the times of their life here, or yeah, either in a good way or a bad way. Where it's like
Right.
I've often heard from e-leader players that they find trying to retake on this map so annoying. But if they have control, then they're having the best day of their life.
Absolutely. And then, you know what? I call it the Shellendorf of Splatoon 3 for many reasons. One of them being
Yes.
that Chargers is so iffy on this map. So I think I like with the direction that Polaris Ruins is going towards. You got to remember that you also had an E-leader on your side in that previous match. So given you're probably making that counter pick with that in mind. So we're going to see what Polaris Ruins comes out with in this match. It is 3 elves 1 Santa still up, but Polaris Ruins again looking to try to take one back here for them. Almost everyone ready. Aguri Cap is a player from Uma Musume, first of all, and secondly from this team of Polaris Ruins. And they ran Dapple Nouveau the previous match. I wonder what they're going to pick out here. We're going to find out very soon here. Anyway, game 2's coming your way now. Or not, maybe not.
Oh, we lost a player. So we'll have to restart that.
Oops. It happens.
But,
It happens.
We get a little preview of the comps here. I do see that Dapple's Nouveau. We've got E-leader on both sides.
I think the interesting thing has to be that there is now a Forge Pro instead of a Frozen Pro, which means you're gonna see a lot of Booyah. I wish I saw the kit on that Forge. I want to see if you're going Booyah spam or not. But with tower control, you can always believe that there's going to be a decently high amount of Booyah bombs that come out from the team. But say there's a DC. Of course, it happened well before the game even started, so you better believe there's going to be a replay coming on for both sides, and both of these teams are going to be pretty soon here. Rose, I think it's interesting how much we're able to gather from a little preview like that.
Yeah, just get a little sneak peek. So we now head back in, hopefully, for realsies this time.
There we go. 4 strong aside, that's how competitive Splatoon is usually played, apart from a few tournaments where it's not usually played like that. Their NZAP comes back for this matchup, and like I said, the Forge Pro coming out for the side of 3 elves 1 Santa, now in the magenta, and Polaris Ruins in the green.
Both teams moving on in. E-leader for 3 elves 1 Santa set up on this right side, peeking over onto the left wing. Oh, that Tri-Slasher is able to take out that Dapples. That is going to be a little bit of lack of aggression coming out from Polaris Ruins for a little bit. But the same could be said for 3 elves 1 Santa. They are down a few players. Polaris Ruins is going to take this opportunity to start setting up to move, but they're also bleeding some players right now, not able to actually set up on the tower at this point. They have not actually got any points yet. They have not parked themselves on there yet. In fact, they've lost most of their team. That E-leader forced to vacate the premises.
That was a gutsy play from the Dapple trying to jump in there, especially against a team that we already saw achieve a 100 KO, and we saw what they've been able to do with just a little bit of control. It quickly snowballs for them. So with this ship shape in mind, it's going to be an easy map for them to snowball and get lots of leverage here, especially with Adley being able to cover a player on the side there. Poke going down as well, thanks to Hejo, I believe, on the Tri-Slash Nouveau. Kiko now still holding control of the tower. Adley going to making another move. 2 players down, a collateral with the Forge Pro, and another 100 KO in tow for them. Could it be it? 1 player going down. They got control of the tower. Now they got control of the tower back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, you know what? It's another 100 KO.
It is. It took a little bit of time to set up for that push, but once 3 Elves when Santa got set up, they did not lose control. We saw Larry pushing in there at the end, making sure that the opponent E-leader could not set up. It is so annoying to retake on E-leader on this map.
Yeah, it's very interesting spot to be in. I wouldn't know. I haven't touched an E-leader in my life because that would require aim. And
Oh, I feel you. I
if you
can't.
watch the
Oh.
if you watch the Race for Races tournament, you'll know that I don't have that. Anyway, going on to game 3, it is again Polaris Ruins pick, but you just got 100 to KO, 100 to 0 twice, and I think some of it has to be some of what you did on that previous match has to be looked at, especially with how much you were trying to make something happen. I did see the Dapples, and I mean, when you have a Dapple Nouveau like that, of course you want to try to send them in and make some plays happen, but the only problem with that is that it seemed like anytime Polaris Ruins tried to send someone to the side and get some picks going for him, somebody from 3L's One Stand, I'm particularly looking at Adley, was able to shut that down almost immediately as that opportunity came up.
Yeah, and because I have played a fair amount of Dapples. I know I would hate to fight Larry on this. I loathe fighting Octobrushes when I'm on Dapples Nouveau because I'm like, dang it, I have to get in so close, and like usually I'm gonna get a trade on you. I'm probably not gonna be able to come out of this unscathed. And then you also, fighting down that forge, they've got the range advantage on you. So if you don't surprise them, and if you don't have a teammate with you, you might be initiating a fight where you just go down in, and then your team can take advantage of that. It's tough on that weapon where it's like, I really want to make something happen, but I keep getting shut down.
Oh man, it's a lot to consider coming into this next match, and funny enough, the E-leader on the side of Polaris Ruins is already readied up as we head towards Game 3 to counterpick being Clam Blitz on a Museum D'Alfonzino. So, another map that I think could work to your favor. The only thing is that if you're Polaris Ruins, you want to be working alongside your specials because, let's face it, your players alone aren't quite getting the opportunities, or at least not capitalizing on the opportunities they need. You need that little jump start. That jump start could come from the specials. And really, it's going to be all about how far they're able to go with those opportunities. If they're not able to capitalize on what they already have, maybe you help them out with those specials. Something I want to see heading into this next matchup for Polaris Ruins. They could still take a few of these back. It's not over yet. It is best of 5. So there's still an opportunity for them. But 3 Elves 1 Santa looking very strong here.
They are. These past 2 games that we saw of them in this match have been so dominant. If I'm Polaris Ruins, definitely want to make sure I'm aware of where Larry is, because even though you've got E-leader versus E-leader, that's going to be a really interesting matchup on Museum, of course, a great E-leader map, but Larry being able to attack those ledges is, if you're Polaris Ruins, you got to be very careful.
No kidding, as we actually see the pencil now coming out from Polaris Ruins. So I like that. You get more coolers coming out, at least more frequent coolers. You can switch out your Zap and go out for something more aggressive. It's going to be that Nautilus. So interesting picks here for Polaris Ruins. A nice change up in strategy. I like what I'm seeing here as he gets started with the Clam Blitz game that I almost thought was Rainmaker for a second there. And a Gurry Cap gets sniped as quickly as they come down. And Cornball able to pick off a trade there. 2 players, 1 player going down on each side. 2 players though for Polaris Ruins as 3 Elves 1 Santa looking strong yet again.
They are. 3 Elves 1 Santa is already setting up on that middle spinner. Great place to be for that E-leader. They're going in. Adley does have that power clam, is able to score it. Still has plenty of room to work with. Can keep Polaris Ruins at bay, keep them from getting in. Kiko able to grab a couple more clams. They're not able to throw them in time before that basket closes. So that's actually just going to be a 1 power clam score and nothing more, giving Polaris Ruins their own free power clam to work with later on.
And at least the silver lining for you. You have something to work with here. But something has to be said about how well 3 Elves 1 Santa were able to work with that push. I mean, you saw the E-leader from the middle. You saw the Kraken coming in from the side and ready to pincer that for you. That was great stuff from 3 Elves 1 Santa, a team that knows the assignment, knows it well, studied it, and is getting perfect grades on it. So great stuff from this team that we're seeing here. No specials ready for them yet, but that's not going to stop them. They already have a power clam in tow. They have another one ready for them on standby. They should be able to get to 50 remaining, but Kiko's going to take a little bit more time with this leader. They do have this trust in their teammates that allows them to wait. 41 remaining for this team. 3 Elves, 1 Santa, strong as ever, keeping these clams going.
Yeah, and there's Splattershot Pro this time on the kit with the Tenta missiles. Has continued to grab power clams, has another 6 in hand. If they could get in place and score them, looks like they're not going to. They are going to fire off some missiles instead. But that's still 14 clams total in hand for 3 Elves and Santa.
Ooh.
They're down at 23. They got some good picks there. They're threatening yet another push. I like to see it. They're like, look at all this free real estate we have. We can just keep this going, keep threatening, so that Polaris Ruins can never get comfortable.
It is free real estate. And Adley just goes up there because Larry's already been up there for the longest time. I can't tell you how long they've been up there, probably as long as this match has been going on for. And now it's 13 remaining for the Elves 1 Santa. They're looking to put this away, and they're looking to put it away now. 2 minutes to go, almost just over 2 minutes to go in this matchup. Larry, I don't know how Larry just finds himself in these situations. It's like you look away, and the next minute they're right next to you, near the basket, and there's Adley or some other player from 3 Elves 1 Santa flying in with the power clam. But lots of ground to cover if you're Polaris Ruins. You're still at 100 remaining. You haven't touched this basket yet. And Aguri Cap just barely misses out on getting Larry. Find a way to pick off Larry there. But there's still a lot of players around the spinner. And there's a lot of places where Polaris Ruins can go for a pick here. Poke just barely misses the fight on Adley. Aguri Cap, there's your turn. You are able to get the pick. Nothing ready for Polaris Ruins in terms of specials yet, but lots to look forward to, and there's the first clam basket open for Polaris Ruins.
Throwing in a bunch of power clams all at once. They are down to 40 points remaining so quickly in a single push. They're going to have to leave it at there. They don't have any more room to actually score additional clams from there, but if they can do that again and keep it up, that is the life we want to see in Polaris Ruins.
Right, that's the first time throughout this whole match I think I've seen 3 Elves 1 Santa on the back foot here. I mean, they were properly challenged throughout that entire push, so that's what we need to see more of, but you only have 44 seconds to do so, so you're not at least wealthy on terms of time, but you know you have what it takes at least to get that basket to the other side. The question is, can you get the picks, and can you get the specials? Can you get everything you need to get that to the other side? You're still having to wait to cross this middle part yet. So Aguri Cap goes down, but yeah, at least trade out Larry. 2 players going down to the side of 3 Elves 1 Santa. Edge up, freaking forced to jump back with that tri-slash to go. That cooler could be very valuable. Cornball's gonna be the one that has to make this move. They at least to get the power clam in. 3 players going down. 1 more might be going down. Aguri Cap surrounded by yellow, and that might be game over for Polaris Ruins. Yes, it is. They will be going to the loser bracket, but 3 Elves 1 Santa 3-0, moving on to the winners bracket finals.
Oh my gosh, 3 Elves 1 Santa pulling in early for Christmas. They are putting in the reps. What an amazingly dominant match. But I gotta shout out that play from Polaris Ruins earlier in this past game. That was a great way to go all the way down to 40 points remaining so quickly, just not able to have enough people alive up to be able to throw in clams for that final push when they needed to.
And great stuff here from both teams, especially obviously 3 Elves 1 Santa. They're going to be the ones making their way to winners bracket finals, awaiting the winner of Starfish and Anarchy Stars, a game that is only at 1-0 right now. They just got to game 2, so lots to look forward to there. Again, Anarchy Stars, the team to beat so far, potentially going against the other team to beat, the team that has been perfect so far. 6-0 teams enjoying lots of success in day 2, but it looked like Polaris Ruins at some point was able to find some success there And you can't help but think, what if we just saw a little bit more of that, maybe just earlier? But yeah, looking at this replay, it was only about a minute 20 when they got this push going. If it happened just a few minutes earlier, we would have been looking at a different scenario.
Yeah, really, really strong play that we got to see. They throw in 1, 2, 3, but can't get any more in at that point. I think it was the correct call just to pull back there, try to get something happening, but just not able to have it all work out in the end. That said, we are going to